Hello everyone, this is Jeff with another riveting video. This is hopefully some good stuff that will work well for us, and yeah, let's get to it. So basically, I'm sure you guys have noticed that I've been doing a lot with Fire Manager and setting up a ton of different forms and setting up different schedules in there, and this is going to be the class on how it all comes together and we start to pull payroll down to assist with Annette and Beth and ultimately ourselves. So without further ado, we'll get started. Alright, payroll integration. Why we're moving towards payroll integrating with Fire Manager. We are moving. The whole plan is to streamline the operation for Annette and Beth, move more forms over there to Fire Manager, and then put more responsibility on our membership. Benefits, efficiency. So we're going to do online leave forms, online overtime form, comp time form, elimination of part-time sign-in forms, to be less time tracking down leave slips, and by that I mean if anybody out there has acted or seen us in the BC's office tracking down big sheets of paper and missing leave forms or calling. I'm sure you've been called by us like, hey, where's your forms? Whatever, all that stuff will hopefully go away. Nothing will get lost in the mail. That being said, hopefully we'll be doing less mail runs. We're not going to need them. We're not going to be hounding people for overtime forms because it will automatically send over. And that should make things a lot better. The elimination of the acting officer and sick leave form. Some of you guys that haven't acted may not know what that is, but it's a form we fill out that basically says who called in sick and who acted for that day. All this stuff is going to automatically account. You can submit all the forms from your desktop or your telephone, which would be nice, and real-time overtime forms will be texted to the approval body when submitted. So basically, when you fill out an overtime form, you select whoever it is, that person will get a message, and boom, they'll fill it out and sign it. So the accuracy. Fire Manager schedule will be used for payroll, so that means we've got to be accurate with Fire Manager. So that's the lieutenants, acting lieutenants, battalion chiefs, acting battalion chiefs. We got to make sure that we are accurate in what we do, and there's going to be some forms for that until we get things sorted out and we get the whole system tracking. But all time will be tracked in Fire Manager and exported to payroll, including cart and holdovers. Elimination of manual tracking, adding, subtracting, cross-referencing. So presently, and that will do everything by hand. Calculator, a book that she writes all of our days in, tracks down leave forms. It's a nightmare for her. So this should be a lot better for all of us. Accountability. Our officers will be the ones accounting for our membership's time. I think that's good because it places more responsibility on our officers and us using our station officers and our acting officers the way that we should be using them as officers. Again, overtime leave slips won't get lost. And then we'll also be able to query and edit all forms, so there's never a question of where things are. The thought of anybody messing with anybody else's form is nonsense too, because you can track every keystroke in the program. And yeah. So how's the process going to work? So this is just a couple more slides, and then we're going to actually go over to a screenshot capture of the program itself. So there'll be a daily payroll accuracy form. So this form will be filled out every day by the station officers, both acting officers and lieutenants. And it's just going to say that I attest that the payroll is accurate for my station for that period of time. So we're pushing it down to the lowest and smallest chunk of time. So for a 24-hour period, if you know you have a cart there, you know you have a cart. You'll track it. If you can't track it, you'll send a message to track it. We'll get to all that. So first officer will submit it. All their officers will access the previously submitted form, and then the last officer will select the duty BC or ABC, who will then get a message sent to him that, hey, this form's ready for you to check. And then they'll verify that all the stations reports are filled out and that the schedule's correct, and they'll fix and change whatever needs to be fixed or changed, if that makes sense. That's kind of what it looks like there, and we'll get into that a little further. And let's see here. And then there's also a new schedule that I've added called overtime cart coverage. And I think I actually changed the name of that too. For like overtime cart or holdover, part-time holdover or something. We'll see it in a little bit, but yeah, this is all tracking all that stuff. And part-time holdovers will also be tracked in here too. So basically Beth's already running this now and it works beautifully. So let me move over to Fire Manager. Close these 1.5 million windows I have. Alright, so, yeah. Okay, so let's just say I opened up Fire Manager. The first thing we're going to do is fill out overtime. I should say that the process for this is we're going to be running this in parallel with our normal system that we have in place now until we get it dialed in and everybody's tracking. Everybody's had a chance to watch the video and done a drill report on it. Everybody understands all the players are good and all of it's tracking accurately and the reports are pulling down accurately. Once that's done, then we'll get rid of the old leave forms, we'll get rid of the old overtime forms, and we'll get rid of any other forms that we use and just move over to this full time. So here's our home page, and first thing we'll do is fill out an overtime form. So apologize for all that radio traffic in the background. Anyway, so let's see here. Overtime comp report. So this is how we'll fill it out. Just get in the corner. Select the member. Station. We'll say I've got overtime today. Desired payout. This is important. You have to decide whether you want it in comp or you want it in overtime. Say I started at 0700 and I got out at 1900. Total 12 hours. And then you just fill out one of the choices. We've kind of cut down on some of those crazy choices, but one of the big things is your carts. Only select cart if it comes through a mirror. Okay? If it doesn't, then it's an emergency line. So if you're hanging around the station and we get a full arrest and BC grabs you and takes you with them, put the emergency run in. If it's an actual cart, put it up here. And yeah, so we'll say mine is minimum manning. Doesn't matter. Submission. So once I submit, I have to sign this. That you just kind of click the mouse and you hold the button and you basically just sign this. You could use your finger on your phone, it works a lot better. So there, it's signed, and then I submit it. Oh. Okay. Submit. Alright, so that's where you'd put whoever. So if you're at a class and a drill outside the city, it's you, another firefighter, and a lieutenant there. And your lieutenant's going to approve it. You'll just select that lieutenant. If it's a lieutenant or whatever, you select your battalion chief, so on and so forth, just like you normally would. Okay, the next I'm going to do is fill out another overtime form as if it's a cart. So we'll go back to here. Overtime comp. America. 222. Station 3. Today he came in. Cart. He wants it in overtime. So he got in at 10 o'clock. he left at 10:30 or whatever. Time total is still going to be 3 hours. Because it's a cart, right? So cart, run number 5656. And yeah, fill it out. And then select who's going to get it. Submit. Alright. So those are pretty easy. I think they pretty much self-explanatory. Leave forms. So hop on that real quick. The leave form. Now I want to cash in my comp item. 286. Delete. Shift. Department of Safety. Shift is B. Through BC. Whatever. We'll do Tillman Design Mile. Alright, and then I want to take comp time for 24 hours. Hours on May 24th. Alright. And then I submit. Alright. Now we'll do what the daily payroll accuracy form looks like. So go down here and select daily payroll accuracy form. So we'll say it's for today. Shift is B. Station 1 officer. Chad Lee. We'll say he's going to access the form. He's going to say, yes, I'm certain all of the payroll is accurate for my shift. He's going to submit it. Alright, now the next guy's going to come in, say Kenny Winter. You can go to Reports section. You can go to the Daily Payroll Accuracy Form. So this one was submitted today. Station number 2 officer. Modify submission. Finished. Alright, well, when it's done, it'll say one station. Next guy will come in and select that, and so on and so forth. If there's an issue with the payroll, then they're going to have to go and fix it. Now, fixing it will be done in the hourly editor section. I'll show you that in a bit. Okay, I made some modifications to this daily payroll, and we'll continue on with that. So, again, come back here. So, our first 2 stations, Station 1 and Station 2, they filled out their forms, so now I'm going to be the 3rd officer. So, Station 3. So we'll say that in this scenario, I don't have the ability to fix what needs to be fixed. So I'm going to say Salva cart 10 o'clock to 11:20, and then we'll say Sopco held over 1 hour. Right. And I'll submit it. Now, say that I'm the final guy, and I'm gonna need to submit mine. But I need to change things. So this process will be exactly like the timesheets process. So we'll say that right now I'm the BC. I I need to take a look at this. I get the message, bing, all my lieutenants have filled out their form. I can either come to it through the form itself, through the daily payroll accuracy, and find these already submitted ones, open it up, or I can go to the reports like I did before for daily payroll, and find the form, and find the submitted one. So let's say now I'm in the BC, and my lieutenants have filled it out. So I come here, this guy's accurate, this guy's accurate. Say that this guy here has a message for me. It says all those in on a cart from 10 to 11:20. I'll write that down. And then stop go hold over for an hour. So I have to fix that. And the reason being, let's just say this officer doesn't have schedule editing rights. You know, he never acts as battalion chief, or he's acting lieutenant. So he can't certify his payroll's accurate. He can put his name in there, and he can put his station in there. But just he'll write down the corrections that are needed. And then again, for the sake of display, the other two officers will say they filled it out, and they made their corrections themselves. So now I'll go ahead and make these corrections. So I'll go to the hourly editor, and all of the schedules should be listed here. But let's just say you don't have them showing. When you click this edit button here, it's going to show you all the available work schedules. And just make sure they're all turned on. You know, you just check them, click, and then click apply. So mine are all on, so they're going to be there. So we'll say today I have to add in dissolve a cart, and I have to add in holdover for the part-time guy. So here you have the shift, the BC, all the stations, these training slots, and the extra duty. This is where we do all the fireworks and safety village, all that stuff. And then this one, OT cart part-time coverage. So in here, again, I have to do 10 to 11:30. So that was the time he was in, but it has to show 3 hours. And that's because as the overtime is pulled down, it has to be accurate. So what you would do, you drag it over. So 10 to 11 to 12 to 1. That would be 3 hours. You block the time for that. So 0700 to 10 o'clock. This doesn't have anything to do with blocking, but I'll show you what we have to do for that in a second. So now we have a 3-hour block of time, right? So that'll cover the cart, and then we need a 1-hour block to hold over for part-time payroll. Hold over. So in this one, we'll do our Zalva guy. So Dave Zalva, 10 to 1300, that's 11, 12, 1, 3 hours. And then you have to check his overtime form to see how he wants his desired payout. So we'll say for the sake of argument, he wants it in comp. And this is important because when each one of these choices here is tied to a different code in the background. So if you select the wrong one, it's going to get charged to the wrong account. So if we want to take care of our guys, we got to make sure we track down what they selected and then select that. So in this case, he chose comp time. We're going to add it. Dave's all the schedule here over it. It's just for the sake of display. I'm working on the day that Dave's working, so that's why it's showing that. And then this, we're going to go ahead and add our 1-hour holdover. Sopko. He's not eligible for comp time. He's not eligible for overtime. So for him, any part-time individual is always going to be regular part-time shift, unless they come in for a drill. So that would be if a part-time guy is on a special team, then they would be put in for this run or drill pay, because that pulls down to a different category because they get paid at a different rate. But for this, he's a part-time guy, he's working, regular part-time shift, add. Okay. So now, when the payroll goes to run for this day, it'll be accurate because this 3 hours of time and this 1 hour time will come in. And then once that daily form is done for all 5 stations, and the BC's assigned made his corrections, he can say, let's go was in charge there. 4, this guy did his, Chapman, whatever, he's accurate. This guy, Georgie was in charge, yep, he's accurate. The BC is Luke, yeah, he's good. So, all these changes were fixed, right? We're good. All these other ones were accurate, okay, we're good. This guy gets the notification, I come in, I verified the schedule, I put the overtime cart positions, and they've been accounted for, and then all types are accurate for the shift. Time types, so then you select who you are, and there I am, you submit it. And that should be done every single day. That way, all of our payroll will be accurate. If it's done at the station level every day, and then at the shift level every day, then there's no way anything could be wrong. Okay, so we'll go back to this, and we'll set up the how it should be. So, obviously today, this doesn't really meet any criteria, so I'm going to delete it. You can delete these if you hover over these circles. Right? There are these 3 lines, delete them. Yeah, sure. And then reblock that time. Yeah, I got to put this all back to where it was. Alright, so now, taking a look at the overtime forms. Let's just say you're the BC. Make sure that you check these every day. Check your overtime, count time report. Here's one from today, Argo. So now, with the BC, you got this overtime form. Let's see, blah, 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 blah. Overtime 10 to 10:30. It's a cart. So he came in on this cart, okay? I'm going to go ahead and approve it, so go ahead and modify. I'm going to verify it, that the cart was done. It was me. My employee number, 286. And then J. Alright, so that form's good. Check this other one for the day. Wally, see what he did. He worked 12 hours. Somebody took comp time. The guy submitted it. Alright, prove it. Verify. Wally, 286. And then, so that's how these forms will be done. The reporting system. So once they're in there, we're going to verify them. You should be getting messages. If you're not getting messages, you want messages, go to your database, you go to My Info, Wally, go to yours, and then select that you have form notifications turned on. If you want them in text or you want them in email. That's turned on. Anytime a form sends you a notification, you'll receive it. If you're not getting them, it's because of this. And then any other thing you want to turn on or off is in there as well. Okay, back to the hourly editor. So accounting for the daily time. So you'll see regular full-time shift. That's what that stands for. So anybody that's full-time, to make sure that they're getting that tag. If it's blank, then that means that they're regular part-time shift, because that's the default setting. The default setting is always going to be regular part-time. And the reason for that is the full-time guys are automatically placed in the schedule through the repeat rotation, and the part-time guys are signing up all the time. It was set the other way where it defaulted to full-time, and I had to manually change every single part-time guy's shift, and that was brutal. So it made more sense to me to set the default to part-time and then change all these in the rotation. So they're all in there. Just you got to make sure that when you check them, all your part-time guys don't show anything, or if you hover over them, you see regular part-time shift. and everybody that's full-time shows that they're full-time. Here's a discrepancy here. So Heath Hardigan. So when Beth were to, if she were to go pull this 2-week period down for payroll, he would be getting, she would catch this, but it would show that he got paid for a day of full-time. So you need to change this time type. So you just hover over the 3 things there, and then you just change the type. And regular part-time shift. Okay? And then it sends him back to where he should be at. And everybody else. So let's say Jason wants to take his time in comp. Then you have to you confirm it with your overtime form like we did, that he selected comp time, and then you just change the time type here. Change the time type to comp time. Okay. So, yeah. So again, you just go to the overtime form. Select which one of his it was. This is a different one, but you see, like it would say here, comp time or full time, or comp time or overtime, and then you just adjust it on the schedule. So basically, everything will be done in here, and then through those payroll forms, and then the last new form will be cancel, request to cancel, cancellation request. I just made it. You gotta give me a second to find it. Leave cancellation request. So this would be if you want to cancel a day. So these forms get printed and sent over to finance. So if you want to cancel this, you have to let Annette know. 12th, I want to cancel a day. Type is vacation through DC Zach, and then you submit it. Or whoever. Through BC or DC. So whoever you want it to go through. Your battalion chief is who it should go through. So once that's done, the BC will look at that, and then they'll make the adjustment. They'll okay, so the leave cancellation form. We'll say that I got a message that a guy wanted to cancel a day. Leave cancellation request. Open it, and I'm gonna look. Alright. Blah, 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 blah. The rules for whether we allow guys to cancel days are based on the schedule. They're based on how many people are off that day. If it'll push, we won't allow guys to cancel a day if they're going to end up pushing too many people back onto the schedule. All sorts of rules, but basically, if you're not sure, just ask BC or Zach or whoever, and you'll figure out how to do it. But we'll say, for the sake of argument, that this was allowed to be canceled. So the way to go ahead and do it is July 12th. Clayton wants to cancel a day. You're going to modify it. You're going to say, on this date, it was approved, and then placed back onto the schedule, because you got to do that manually, and that the person that approved it was myself. So we'll say that you got to remember July 12th. We're going to go to July 12th and up here, and then put them back on the schedule manually. Surprisingly enough, I picked the correct shift. So to put them on the schedule, you just come here. Select the individual, it's Clayton, change your time frame, he's back on for his 24-hour day, and then you see it defaults down here to part-time shift. You gotta remember to change that back to regular full-time shift. Then you click Add. I'm not going to do it because he's off that day and I don't want to mess with the schedule, but that's just how you do it. And then that should basically do it. So let's just quick little overview. The new forms. We have the overtime form, overtime comp report. All these are mandatory fields who you're sending it to. So remember, person, shift, the station, just like before, the date, desired payout, that's the big one. And then your times. And then what it's for. Remember, only use carts. They come through the mirror. Select one of these other ones, and then sign it. Select who it's going to, and they'll be messaged. Okay? Your daily payroll accuracy form. Review again. Remember, cover your officer on this date. Make sure particular shift. Boom. Shift number. Name. And each station has a report. Once all 5 stations do it, last lieutenant selects the BC of the day. Beep. Once he does, BC gets a message. He'll read all these. Okay. One of them says that they need to correct certain things, jot down some notes, go to your hourly editor, make those corrections, and then also account that all time types are accurate. So, again, schedule editor. Say, this is my day. Check each full-time guy that they're full-time. If a guy works overtime, make sure that his overtime form matches he wants overtime or that he wants comp time. All your part-time guys should be auto-populated, and you shouldn't have any sort of thing unless you hover over them and you'll see part-time shift. Confirm that one, all that stuff. Trades, regular full-time shift, full-time, blah, 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 blah. Once you're done, go back to that daily part-time form, and you modify it as the BC. I verify that, I verify that, I verify that. Click, submit, boom, done. Okay, new leave forms. Go over those again. Leave request form. So, pardon me, the wrong section. Leave request form, just like before. This person, this department, the shift, through BC, so-and-so, on this date, employee number, is requesting these days, or whatever. So basically, another thing about this, as we start the new year, you can put all of your leave forms for each pay period on one form. So you can open up a separate tab if you want, and in here I also have these Kelly Day forms, schedules I made, Kelly Day schedule for 2019. Full-time, all the schedules are here, so you'll be able to tell between which time frame and which time frame you can add all your leave forms. So this form is only in here for display. There's no reason to ever submit it, but you can use it to confirm where your payroll periods lie for leave form purposes. Also for Kelly Day schedules, if you want to check to see if you can do a Kelly Day trade with somebody, they have to fall within these different parameters. You can print this out on your own and keep it at your station if you want, but long story short, just use that for the leave request part. Put all, if it's the first after vacation picks, you can put all of your all your vacations, all your Kellys, everything for each pay period on one form. Submit them, and then your BC will approve them. And the last new form is the leave cancellation request. Again, if you're canceling a day or you want to cancel a day, submit it this way through BCDC. That person will get messaged, and they'll let you know, or they'll approve it or deny it, and then you just look to see if you got it done. I'm sure they'll call you or send a message. And other than that, that kind of finishes up the new forms. There's no reason for part-time guys to sign in anymore at the stations because these reports are pulled down automatically and sent over for payroll. There'll be no reason to fill out the sick time forms anymore and the acting officer because they'll all automatically pull down. So with that, I guess we're done. If you have any questions, let me know. Everybody take the time to watch this video at the training site. Do your training form, training report for it, and then start running this. And when I get back from vacation, we'll check to see where we're at. We'll see when we're going to fully implement it. But up until then, we're going to do things both ways. So fill out a paper overtime form, fill out one of these forms. You take a day off, fill out a paper leave request, fill out one of these leave requests. So on and so forth. We'll run it in parallel. And yeah, any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.